I'm G4, and here you'll find two distinct shows, The Beginner's Guide to Model Railroading and the Proto-Future podcast. Beginner's Guide, or BGT, does what it says on the tin. It's a marginally opinionated, gently explicit fire hose of information detailing all the concepts, techniques, minutiae, and background information you need to know to successfully build your first model railroad. Proto-Future, or PFP, is quite different. Massively politicized, extremely explicit, starting with a manifesto on how to get more young people into the hobby, and then becoming an ongoing project to single-handedly dismantle the boomer nostalgia industrial complex that makes up the majority of model railroading, because the choice to remain politically neutral in the face of injustice is itself a political choice. Part of Proto-Future involves tracking the construction of my current layout, a one-of-a-kind railroad set 20 years in the future on an intermodal station of 4 different near-future Amtrak services in Rochester, Minnesota, in addition to modern streetcars and frequent DMU light rail transit, but most of Proto-Future is just as much, if not more, an appreciation of walkability, bikeability, transit, and the war on cars, car dependency, and car-brained suburbanites. Episodes may include car deconversion how-tos, theoretical topics, discussions on including walkable urbanism on my own model railroad, and lots of travel diaries. Importantly though, I will be doing all of this from an enthusiast's perspective, not that of dry analytical advocacy. Because of this, and especially since I approach it from the perspective of model railroading, I believe Proto-Future to be the first enthusiast podcast on transit and urbanism. There are obviously many YouTube channels that target this genre, not the least of which being Trains Are Awesome, Miles in Transit, and Classy Whale, but the audio dimension seems to be a bit dearth and aimed at more professional discussions, although the Redline podcast does come close to what I'm trying to do, shout out to them. Otherwise, I want to keep this a thoroughly sophomoric and vulgar venue, fueled by furious appall at the car-brained decisions of generations past foisted upon me, not to be confused with other podcasts, which concern themselves with such petty matters as political feasibility, appealing to the general public, and not chaining themselves to trees in front of bulldozers. Expect an inescapably prejudiced look at how a young person views and interacts with the world, and by extension what they're looking to get out of model railroading. Spoiler alert, the difficulty of appealing the hobby to younger generations has almost nothing to do with kids these days and their video games. I recommend starting with the 3-part prologue series, which is helpfully linked to on the website at bgtmrring.org. That's Bravo Golf Tango, Michael Romeo Romeo, Indigo November Golf, Oscar Romeo Golf. At the moment, Beginner's Guide occupies Season 1, Proto-Future occupies Season 2, and I roughly alternate putting them out one each every other month. When I reach such a point as I feel BGT has wrapped up, I'll transition mostly over to PFP, move PFP over to Season 3, and fill in Season 2 with reworked old episodes of BGT every now and again on an as-I-feel-like-it basis. Because, hell, I started this damn thing when I was an idiot teenager, and I think I've learned a few things since then, not the least of which being to use an ethically sourced fair trade theme song. In the meantime, if you're new to model railroading, welcome. Running trains is a damned fun way to spend your time, and getting to build them from scratch is, while admittedly sometimes slow and frustrating, nonetheless a very educational and rewarding way to do it. If you're old to model railroading, I really think I have some fascinating and fresh ideas worth spreading, and I'm eager to see how far they'll go. New and interesting things have happened to trains and transit in the past 40 years, things which have direct application to how we design and build our layouts, and the pace of change is accelerating faster than ever. Further, younger generations are more pro-transit than any generation since the invention of the driver's license, and everything we do now to further hobble, imperil, and exterminate car culture will only increase the prosperity of railroading. Oh, yeah, and also help postpone the impending climate apocalypse. Every perceived inconvenience of transit is simply an engineering problem waiting to be solved. So let's see what we can do to solve them, in miniature and writ large. Climate policy is transportation policy, and transportation policy is land use policy. They are all 3 sides of the same hypercoin, and to enthuse in only trains while ignoring the other 2 is not only disingenuous to their interconnectedness, it proactively enables racism and ecosystem collapse. Ergo, I think it's high time the culture wars be brought to boomers' basements. So, hence, I'm here. I'm having a bloody good time of myself with this show, and I hope you'll share in that too. It is my wish to inspire you to look differently at your modeling and lifestyle, your communities both miniature and real. So, thank you for listening to this trailer. Maybe I've whetted your appetite to check out a full episode sometime, but until then, as always, keep riding trains, keep punching Nazis, and keep building a better future.